YouTube? It's Christine with Souls Rising. I am bringing through some oracle messages today. This video is for those who have Sagittarius as their sun, moon, or rising sign. Welcome. These are timeless messages, so whenever you find it is the right time for you to hear the message. They are collective, so take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't make sense to you or your life situation, and understand that the messages will apply differently to different folks watching this, since they're for a group of people instead of just you individually. If you do need something more individual or personalized right now, I do offer private readings, and you will find information on how to schedule one, and you can even book it online on my website, which I will have linked in the description box below this video. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the oracle cards. Then we will move over into the tarot for more clarity and understanding in a deeper way. What does Sagittarius need to know, Spirit? Sagittarius. Wow. All right, Sagittarius. So I'm going to jump in. I did have something interesting kind of coming in. I actually started as I was prepping for this video, but I kept getting this almost this desire to cough, or this coughing that was almost like a dry and warm cough coming up into my throat chakra. Usually when we're doing readings and recordings and stuff like that happens, it hasn't been happening prior to me recording. It's significant to the reading. And I was getting this message of some of my Sagittarius it's almost like you're coughing up a fireball right now. Almost like you have something really fiery or really intense that's trying to come up through your throat chakra and trying to be spoken or be poured out of you or brought out of you. I kind of feel like this could be angry words or a message that needs to come out that has a lot of power behind it or a lot of energy behind it that I feel like you've been trying to swallow it down, or you've been trying to keep it in, and it's starting to burn your throat a little bit. Okay, so that may not be for everybody watching this, but for someone out there that is important for you to hear right now. And I kind of don't feel like you're going to be able to stop this. Okay, so they're telling me make it a controlled burn. Okay, you can't keep holding this in because it's going to come out and it's going to burn everything around it if you try to do that, and it comes out in an uncontrolled fashion. But you need to let it out slow, and but you have to let it out. You can't keep holding it in here because it's burning you up, burning you up, burning you up. Okay, it's gonna get too hot to handle. They're telling me it's gonna get too hot to handle. Okay, so that's not for everyone watching this, but for some of you that will make a lot of sense. Okay, so let's start with the cards. You guys have a great reading here, Sagittarius. So the first three cards, very powerful cards. The first card is Flora, fertility. I feel like this is my Sagittarius right now. Look how happy this woman is. She has this huge smile. She's pregnant in this card. I'm also being pulled to the fact that not only is she pregnant, but she's wearing armor. So it's like you're birthing something right now, or you're putting a lot of effort and energy into something right now that you're trying to create or give birth to. And it has a lot of protection around it, or you've been really protective over it. Nurturing it, protecting it, making sure that it can really take root and be something good and be something powerful and strong. Now, even though she's pregnant, you know, when we talk about birth and babies and pregnancy, you know, in tarot and oracle readings, it really has to do with new life, new energies coming in, things that we are attempting to create or birth within our lives. Now, it can, of course, relate to physical pregnancies or babies. So if you are somebody that has been what you've been really focused on, Sagittarius, lately, this certainly could talk about that as well, because that is a new beginning too. The new beginning of motherhood or parenthood. And then right after it, we have the card of creation, okay? And I'm being pulled by spirit right now to the fact that, you know, here we have the pregnancy, which is the present energy. The first card coming out for me is present, current energy. And then here we have the child, matured, okay? So I'm also getting a message for some of my Sagittarius is watching this, that whatever you've been putting your energy into or trying to create and protecting and really, you know, pouring yourself into and hopefully waiting, that it has the potential to be created really quickly and to grow fast, okay? Because this isn't a baby in this picture, right? This is like a full little girl, okay? So whatever this thing is that you have been working on, it has potential. I feel like you're going to be successful, and it has potential to grow really quick into something really beautiful. And then we literally have the card of the sun of life here, the card of life. This is like the god of the sun, okay? And you, I feel, Sagittarius, have been really pouring a lot of yourself or a lot of your energy into creating a new life, and one that you can be happy with, one that you can really take pride in and have excitement about. And again, I get this strong energy of protection over it. So you may be feeling very protective of what you've been creating or building for yourself right now. Underneath that, we have the sun, the literal sun, the center. Beautiful, wonderful energy of things really taking off for you, of things really heating up and coming into fruition. Think about this too. I'm being told, you know, look, the sun is also like the giver of life. The sun puts off warmth and sunlight that is needed for life to grow and flourish. And so I feel like you guys are the sun, like you've been bringing the sun, or you've been acting as the sun, like giving life to something and giving nurturing to these things around you to help them to grow and flourish. And there may be more people benefiting from that than you're even aware of, right? Maybe you're doing it with one goal in mind, but it's actually having like effects in other ways that you didn't anticipate, and creating some good growth in other areas of either your life or the lives of people around you you didn't even see coming. And then we have resilience. I feel like this is just showing that this hasn't been easy, okay? So whatever you've been like trying to create and you're feeling very happy with right now and very productive over, I also feel like maybe you really had to go through some challenges or obstacles to get there. And this does feel like past energy to me. It doesn't really feel like present to me, but I feel like you've had to overcome hurdles, maybe within yourself, maybe with other people, or just in general on the way to get here. And maybe it felt like you weren't gonna get there, and that might be why you've had to really work for it or fight for it. And that's why maybe you're feeling a little protective over it. Like life hasn't always been easy is sort of the message with this. But then it's followed by the card of contentment. Okay. And again, I'm being pulled to that we have this like aging effect going on here of like going from, it's like maiden, mother, crone energy, because we're having like the maiden, the mother, and the crone all showing up here in this reading of progression, right? Progression through life cycles, that we see things through from conception to the end, okay? That when we create something, we give it life and we birth it and we pour ourselves into it and we give it what it needs, like the sun gives, you know, light to the animals and the plants on the earth, and the planets nearby, pours off and gives life and nurturing. And then eventually those things, they age and they come to a conclusion, right? And that happens, the sun sets on what we've been doing or building, but it doesn't end, right? Because then the cycle just starts over again. So some of you with that kind of message coming through, some of my Sagittarius out there, maybe you have one thing you've been really nurturing and creating, you're feeling protective over, and at the same time you have something else that you nurtured, and one thing is closing, like one door cycle is closing and the new one is opening and flourishing at the same time. And so some of you might be kind of having some bittersweet feelings right now, or maybe you feel a little like in the spin cycle in the washing machine, like you don't know which way to feel because you've got actually both things happening. For a few of you, you might actually be being challenged around releasing the thing that you had grown in the past and really maybe put a lot into, so that you can shift gears and refocus your energy and efforts on this new thing that you are currently trying to create for yourself instead. And that's hard, right? Sometimes it's hard to acknowledge when we have to pull our energy back from one thing and move it into something new because it's just time, right? I pulled clarity on this resilience card as well. And when I pulled clarity, I got this card of ideas. And I want to kind of pull your attention to the fact that in this, she's like being like overcome by this energy. But in this one, she is actually in control of it. She has centered herself with this power or this energy. So some of my Sagittarius out there, you may have a lot of emotional, water is like emotion. Maybe there's a lot of emotional energy connected to or tied up around whatever this is you've been working on or trying to transition around or create for yourself. And there's been maybe a process of having to, you know, move into more contentment and ease with this. And you've been really having to like center and ground these energies and get control of yourself or your own emotions so that you can really make this thing that you've been working on successful. Maybe it's been kind of triggering some things in you or causing, because I get that sense of protectiveness. Sometimes when we're really guarded and protective over something, we can lash out, right? Remember I was getting that like fire coming up in the throat. Like sometimes we can lash out or overreact to things going wrong. And so you might be having to kind of get a handle on it a little bit so that you can just continue to focus on growing it and watching it flourish. But I feel it's going to, okay? I feel like you've got a really amazing thing here and I kind of feel like you know it. So let's move over to the tarot because I want to get into that a little bit deeper for you guys. All right, what does Sagittarius need to know, Spirit? What else can you add to this message for Sagittarius? Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, yeah. Wow, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. The first two cards we had coming up are fantastic cards. Two of the best cards in the tarot. We have the Star, the card of hope. I also really feel like this is you pouring into what you're hoping to create for yourself in the future. Very much this energy, okay? And then we have it followed immediately by Ace of Cups. These are the first two cards showing up by themselves initially, okay? And I feel like this is you being really hopeful and really focused on what you are pouring yourself into, where you're putting your energy into for your future. And I really heard this is like you pouring into yourself. And for once in your life, you are really pouring into you and yourself and what makes you happy. And it's really key. It's so important. Like you keep doing it. Keep doing it, okay? Like your guides are happy about that. Or Spirit is very happy about that. And then the next row, we have the Two of Wands, which is like charting our course, choosing our path, looking to the future. And also I'm being shown the cat. Cats for me are independence. Okay. Some of you might be creating your own course or charting your own path there. Maybe that's not been easy, or there's been emotional struggles being churned up as a result of you doing that you've had to look at or deal with within yourself, obstacles or maybe self-doubts that are coming up around this, or even doubts from others around you, whether you can do it or not. But ultimately, I feel like you can, and you feel like you are setting a course for yourself that is self-honoring and self-loving. And then we have that followed by the Fool. Again, this new beginning energy showing up, new beginnings. I don't care. I'm doing my thing. I'm setting off. I'm excited for my new adventure. And we have that followed by the Chariot, movement forward. This can also mean movement away from something. And I was kind of picking that up with the Oracle, that some of my Sagittarius is out there, in order to pursue this new path, you're having to leave an old path behind. And you have to have peace with that, because then we have the Four of Swords. And I do also feel that this is you guys choosing your own peace, choosing what makes you happy, choosing your own peace of mind for yourselves with this new fresh start, and that it's going to be a breath of fresh air, or it's going to be something that brings more peace into your life, or excuse me, that is something that brings you a sense of peace and contentment. You know, we had that contentment card, very similar energies. But also I get for those of you who are leaving something behind, you have to have peace with the decision to move forward and to move on and pursue this new beginning. And kind of be willing to let go of whatever it is that you're done with, or that you can no longer pour your energy into, in order to continue building the new thing that you've been creating for yourself. Because that baby's being born, right? That baby's being born, and it's going to take off fast, or it is taking off fast. And it's going to need more from you, right? You have to be like the sun and give it the nurturing that it needs in order to grow, or to continue to grow. And again, that may be causing some conflict for you at the moment. I do kind of feel like this is going on, maybe for some of you right now. Okay, so the next row I got for the tarot, Ace of Swords, breakthrough, cutting through, clarity, understanding, awareness. Also, I'm hearing higher knowing with the hawk here, higher knowing. And some of you, like, you see the path that's being laid out for you by spirit with this, okay? Hawks, for me, when people see hawks, for me, that is spirit showing you, your guides showing you a sign that they're ahead of you on the path, that they are leading you, that you are being guided, and that you are not mistaken, that they are there and they are helping you, and that they see further ahead. It's almost like they're flying ahead of you and clearing the way, okay? And then we have, again, I was getting like ending. Well, we have the Death card showing up here. Transformation, something changing, something shifting. You know, I was talking about that life cycle here too, with the Mother, Maiden, and Crone, or Maiden, Mother, and Crone, right? And there's a little bit of that energy here too. Death is a part of life. It's part of the life cycle, and it's an unavoidable part. So sometimes the old has to die to birth the new. And then we have Nine of Swords, worry, fear, anxiety, followed by the Three of Swords, maybe heartbreak, pain, grief, loss, and then Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is badass. She like swings her sword. She doesn't put up with stuff. She cuts things out. She's unapologetic about that. She knows what she needs. She has full clarity and awareness. Okay, she's a strong woman. This can also be a very intelligent woman, air sign, potentially. Obviously, this is for Sagittarius, so that may not apply to you, but I feel like this is you guys in this reading, so I don't think it's really air sign unless you have an air placement somewhere else in your chart. I feel like this is you having a lot of clarity. I'm also being shown, like, it's very similar to this card too, of the contentment. I feel like this is sort of you choosing your path and knowing that it's the right path for you. Even if maybe there's other people around you who might plant some doubts, or are doubting, or aren't sure if you should do this, that I feel like you guys kind of know what you need to do. This woman feels decided on her path to me. But maybe you've had to go through an ending that has been painful as part of it with this, right? Maybe there's been worry about like a fear of loss or losing something, or maybe you've had to let go of something that you really did put a lot of yourself into in the process, and that's been very painful to do this. Or maybe you're seeing that you're going to have to do this in order to move forward with this new thing that you're trying to build and create for yourself. But this is not fun energy right here, right, guys? but you're breaking through it because we've got that sandwiched with these two cards on either side of it. And I feel like you are being divinely led through this process, and I feel like you are cutting through the fear. You're cutting through your worries and the pain and that difficult, maybe emotional turmoil energy that's been being triggered or coming up through this process of change you've been going through, so that you can be centered in your own inner knowing of what it is that you're building and creating, and feeling very good about that, and feeling focused on it and calm again about where you're headed. The Queen of Swords isn't afraid. She's cut through the fear and the pain and the loss, and she's ready to move on. She has her like legs crossed there. She's not panicking. She's not rushing. She's good. Okay. Let's get like 2 more cards for my Sagittarius. What else does Sagittarius need to know about this spirit? What's going to help my Sagittariuses? Okay, so I got some interesting cards when I asked for some clarity here. I'm going to show you. We have 5 of Swords, which is like tension, conflict. 5 of Cups, disappointment. And then I got Queen of Wands in the reverse, okay? And I have a couple interpretations on that I'm going to share with you in a minute. And then I have Knight of Wands, which is adventure, moving forward, passion, excitement for the new path, but we're carrying it forward in the Knight of Wands versus the Page. And then we have the Emperor, which the Emperor looks back fondly on what they have built for themselves. They're all about their empire. They're all about what they have created and formed. And then we have 6 of Wands, which is a victory and happiness, excitement. Okay. Feeling really good about what we've built. Now, I'm getting with the first 3 cards, we have that 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups energy with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I feel like this applies a couple different ways to different folks watching this. So the first bunch, this is a very internal energy where you yourself are being asked to consider, like Spirit's asking you to consider, how will you feel? Think about, as you're struggling with what to do with this situation, think about how will you feel if you don't pursue your passion? If you don't do this new thing that you've been really excited about, if you don't follow up on it, how is that going to feel? Or how disappointed might you be if you don't give yourself this opportunity, okay? Because I feel like in this case, you guys are kind of here in this middle card, like struggling with this emotional energy, struggling with what maybe has to change in your life or what has to be left behind. And that might be holding you up with moving forward with what you really are wanting to build and create. This Queen of Wands is very similar to this energy here, okay, of fertility. And I feel like for those of you that applies, that you're going to feel much better when you follow through with your new adventure. It's almost like you're being asked to focus on instead on what you're trying to create and seeing yourself being really successful and victorious with this. And I think you can be. So there's a lot of positive energy around this. Now, for others of my Sagittarius, this is not internal energy, this conflict and disappointment. This may be someone else outside of you whom you feel like you are letting down, or who is maybe making you feel bad about the choice that you're making to pursue something new. There may be a negative female figure, a strong negative female figure playing in here, okay? This could be like a mother figure or an authority figure who is a female, who is maybe a strong, fiery, passionate energy that is either causing you to doubt yourself or questioning your decisions, or maybe even they themselves are disappointed and conflicted about the choices that you are making. And I get that if that is the case, that you need to know that their concern has a lot more to do with them and how what you're doing is going to affect them than it really does have to do anything with concern about you, okay? So know that, first of all. They may actually be more concerned about getting what they want from you to preserve what they have built, okay? And we do have a masculine, so this could be a mother and a father, but the woman with the upside down is, sometimes to me that's negative, like shadow trait energy coming out here. And there may also be this masculine energy trying to preserve what he has built and maybe not wanting this change to occur or resisting this cycle from completing and then renewing here. You know, and maybe somebody's even in a rush to a victory here, trying to rush you to get what they want with this, to make something happen faster, okay? Either way, I do feel like my Sagittariuses are under a sense of pressure. Some of you, that pressure is coming from within you, where you are the one who has internal emotions being churned up by this really cool thing that you are growing and building in your life. And it's just it's challenging you around your own shadows of doubt and self-worth. And can I do this? Am I worthy? But for others of you watching this, it's about other people around you questioning, doubt, and getting in your head, not liking it maybe, not approving of the choices and decisions that you're making, or this new path that you are considering moving down, that they're fearful they're going to get left behind when you do this. Like you're going to leave them in your dust, okay? And that I do get that these people are less concerned about you and what's good for you, and they are more concerned about their own skins or hides in this. They've got skin in this game, and that's what they're worried about, okay? So you need to know that, Sagittarius. If that part applies to you, I get the message from Spirit is do what you want. This is you pouring into your own cup for once, okay? I feel like if this is you, that it's these people outside of you and disapproval energies here that you may have given into this more than once in the past, okay? You may have allowed other people around you and what they think of you, or wanting them to be proud of you, or being fearful of them being upset or disappointed in you, that you may have had a lot of emotion about that has in the past caused you not to push for things that you want, or caused you to release or let go of things you want. But I think right now, whatever this is you've been working on, you are so freaking excited about it, and it is growing and has so much potential here, so much life behind it, that you're really getting pushed now to make the decision, okay? To really get your stuff together and stay centered, and really create and build a legacy for yourself that you can feel really content and happy and proud of down the road. And that may mean that you got to cut some people off, or you got to piss some people off, or risk people being upset or disappointed in you. And maybe it feels risky, you know? For some of you, this very well could be you're starting a new business, or maybe you're leaving a secure job to start an entrepreneurship, and there are no guarantees, and there's fear and anxiety about that. And maybe it's not just you, maybe it's a spouse or a partner or parents, or, you know, maybe you've got people at an old job who don't want you to freaking leave it, right? And leave them behind, and they're putting doubts in your ear about, you know, worries and fears, like making you think about it and question if it'll really work out for you. Ultimately, I feel like you are sitting on a landmine. I feel like you're sitting on something really amazing. It feels like a lot of pregnant, good, blessed energy around what you're trying to create. And I feel like it can grow fast, and it can really pop off and be really beautiful. But I do feel it needs nurturing, and it needs your energy. And you have to shift some gears now to put that energy towards it in order to keep it going. And that is what is creating this sort of inner turmoil that you need to learn to kind of get centered around, whether that is self-doubt and fears of your own coming up, or whether this is being placed upon you by those around you or outside forces. At the end of the day, what I'm getting the message from Spirit is you have to focus on what you want to build and create for you in your own life. And they want you to think about, at the end of my life, what do I want to look back on? What do I want to say about what I did here, okay? And I feel like this is you just feeling really proud of what you've done for yourself and pouring into your own cup. This isn't about anybody else, I feel. This is really about you and what you need and want. And you can have it, but you got to chart this course. You gotta pick your course now. I feel like you're getting pushed a little to make a choice and to choose a path, because I feel like if you're stuck between two, I feel like you can't keep one of them, or you can't keep going. You have to make some type of decision to really get both feet in, because whatever this is you're trying to create is going to need your attention. Okay, Sagittarius, those are your messages. Hopefully this helps you if you've been a little stuck, either in emotion or stuck on the fence, to sort of choose what you need to do next. Take care, guys. I will be back in a few weeks with some more messages. Bye.